With a title like this, you could mean literally any game that Suda51 has ever made, but today I want to tell you about Ranko Tsukigime's Longest Day because that game truly is forgotten. Or actually, to be forgotten, people would have to know you existed in the first place. This is getting too complicated. It's a game made as part of a multimedia project with the central topic of Japan through the times. The other parts of it are short anime movies that have nothing to do with the game though, so you don't have to watch them to get the bigger picture of the story of the game. But one of them is made by Katsuhiro Otomo, the guy behind Akira, a movie that every anime fan should have watched in their life at least once. They all come on a disc, so if you want to watch them, go ahead. I did not. The game was only written by Suda51. Its actual director was Yohei Kataoka, who previously worked on Pandora's Tower and Tokyo Jungle. You can play various animals in that game, but Pomeranian dogs play a big role in that game. I didn't know that this breed of dog actually comes from Germany, but apparently it does after I googled the name of it. You know, Germany mentioned. Why am I saying this? Because the game has a whole stage where you're actually getting chased by one of those dogs, even with a little reference to Tokyo Jungle. It's really cute that the guy likes Pomeranian dogs this much that he puts them into every game that he directed, which isn't a lot, and because he deserves props for this game too. Its main point might have been the story written by Suda, but without the also really fun gameplay, it would have not been as great. Apparently after this game he has never made anything else ever again, and that's a bit sad. Speaking of gameplay. It's a bit like an endless runner, or more like Mario 1. Does anyone still remember that? Maybe one day I will bing bing mahoo my way through that game too. What it really needed to succeed was a Rosalina bikini skin. Nintendo should hire me. But anyways, you run through the levels and have to get to the finish line. On the way there, you slice and dice your way through enemies and also jump, slide and hover around. Every level also has multiple paths you can take, and most of the time when you take the harder to reach path, you will get rewarded for it with finding concept art and stuff like that. But once you fail to get up the harder path, you can't just easily turn around and try reaching again, because for some reason you're getting chased by giant hands called the Veiled Forces, and when they grab you, you instantly die. But you can shoot them with the L1 button. It uses the ammo meter at the bottom left though, which you can fill through killing enemies. If you run out of it though and get stuck a few times, the hands will easily catch you and then it's good night. I kinda wonder if that feels nice though, getting embraced by such huge hands. It's probably really warm, and if they squash you, you don't really feel much pain. I'm a masochist though, so a bit of pain is nice every once in a while. Killing the enemies in the game actually feels amazing, because they shoot their very own special effects like speech bubbles, anime girl legs, anime girl hairstyles, coins, electric sparks, and some others that fill up the whole screen, and if those special effects hit other enemies, they also die. So they're basically doing your job for you, which is nice. I wish someone would do my job for me, or just hire me as the maid and pay me a lot. There's just something so satisfying about getting into the flow and rushing through a level without getting stuck at any walls or edges and just stylishly cutting your way through tons of enemies and seeing the screen light up with all of these effects. I really wish they would just make a sequel to this, but give it an endless mode so it could become the next Subway Surfers for weeps, which I could play for endless hours. The levels themselves are also pretty varied, despite having this kind of bleaker and less colorful look to them. It gives you a nice clashing feeling with the effect of the enemies exploding. It feels as if you turn on the blue light mode on your PC or phone and then watch some rave party on it. You go through a shopping district, an office, a subway, a vault, Mount Fuji and some others, and they have this extremely surreal and stylistic look to them. I especially like the hotel level's background. It looks like something that could actually exist even though it wouldn't work in real life with the way it just looks so out of place, even though it kinda doesn't. The second half of the game suddenly changes the game up though and introduces a biking stage, followed by a shoot 'em up stage where you fight against a giant dragon because your friend turned into one and now you kinda have to kill it. Happens to all of us sometimes. Please don't steal my lunch money for this take, but most of the time when the game switches it up like this, I don't like it too much, especially in Platinum games, because they love to do that. But here they feel fun and don't overstay their welcome at all, since it's also a really short game. It only took me an hour to beat it, despite dying a few times, and half of that were cutscenes. They sold this game for full price back in the day, $60 for an hour-long game, coupled with 4 short anime movies. Yeah. The game does have some replayability because of the different paths and unlockables like different costumes and concept art, and I found myself going back to it after beating it to have some more fun perfecting my times, but it boggles my mind a bit that they didn't just release this for $30 instead. In a way, I don't think it would have sold that much better at that price either though. Now it's time to talk about the part of the game we have all been waiting for though, the story. You are Ranko Tsukigime. Who could have thought it with the game's name? A 17-year-old girl with issues like any other normal schoolgirl, like wanting to kill her own dad who owns Tsukigime Enterprises, the biggest operator of monthly parking lots in the world. And I guess that's maybe the reason why she lives in a parking lot thingy in a lot of different containers and enjoys playing some MMOs while working as an assassin on the side, because it wouldn't be a Suda51 game if there would be no assassinations. Why does she want to kill her dad? Because she wants to avenge her mother, which implies that he killed her mom, which is something you never find out though and you never get it explained, because this game explains nothing. What is nice though is that every cutscene in the game is animated in a different style, but Fire Emblem fans will probably recognize one of the art styles because Yusuke Kosaki is the character designer of the game, who was also the character designer on Fire Emblem Awakening of Fates and already worked together with Suda51 on other games like No More Heroes and Liberation Maiden. Since we are already on the topic of big names working together, the OST was composed by Akira Yamaoka, mostly known for his Silent Hill soundtracks, and it slaps. It has rocky bits to it, but it's mostly electronic music like drum and bass, jungle, that kind of style. It gets you into the zone, but also relaxes you a lot despite it being so fast. I listened to it while writing the script. Nobody cares about what I do, so back to the cutscenes and story. Some of them are told through manga panels. Some in a visual novel kind of way, coupled together with a joke about Veggie. Some in rather normal but really cool animal style. And then you also got this. The whole game is just an amazing shitpost kinda. Nothing makes sense and that's the point, it's just cool as fuck. Sometimes things don't have to make sense, just like in life itself. Sometimes in life there's just a random guy who talks about the gate of binding and you're the key of Babylon to open the gate so you can suddenly go into the future and suddenly have a little sister with a third eye that then tries to unmask you or your dad during a wrestling match with a giant dog watching you do that in the background. Sounds like a normal day, right? But maybe it all means something, maybe. Something about the game just captivated me. It's just one of those games I enjoyed from the start to the end and had a blast the whole time and a smile because of how dumb it just is. If you wanna objectively review a game like this, you would go, wow, story makes no sense, bad. Wow, the game is so short, bad. Wow, the game is pretty simple, bad. Luckily, I don't have to be objectively, so I can just say this game is a total 10 out of 10 for me because I just can. It feels like a cocktail. I said cock, haha. I sometimes wish I would have a tail though, that they seem cute to wiggle and waggle around. I'm not a furry though. So many weird and creative things just mixed together and some people will enjoy it while others will spit it out and think, how can anyone drink this? It's like Pepsi. I love Pepsi Max. Other people don't. You know, I love Pepsi Max. I love this game. You know what would mean something to me though? If you would give the video a like or also me a subscription if you enjoyed the video, but only if you really did enjoy it. No pressure. Maybe you didn't like it at all and still watched it all the way through to the end, so you don't have to like it. It's fine, you know, you got here and it's alright. I'm not sad or anything. See you next time. Maybe if you subscribe, maybe. Have yourself a good one. Good night.